So I'm going to be bringing up my slides at this point in time. Today, my computer looks a little bit funny, so I'm having a little bit of a adjustment to make. Okay, there we go. All right, so everyone can see the slides. Let me turn down the volume for my phone so it doesn't distract everyone. And at the same time, okay, I've got somebody that just wrote in. Okay, great. All right, now, for those of y'all who attended yesterday's session, I think there's more of y'all here today than yesterday, so I'm assuming that some of y'all already are in the business, are new in the business. If you could just let me know where you're zooming in from. A very good morning. I'm zooming in from Singapore, my own home, and I just dropped off my youngest daughter. She is 3 years old, and she's in a childcare center, so she starts school a little bit later. Well, for my elder two twins, they are already in primary 1, so they start school very early. They wake up at 5:30, they get out of the house, you know, to take the school bus at about 6:15. So, you know, this business is perfect for me because by the time I get everything ready and I'm ready to get the training started, that's when my girls are in school and I have that time. So that's why I always feel that this business is a perfect business model for stay-at-home moms as well as retirees. Hi, Stephanie, you're zooming in from Kuching. I think somebody has said that you are unable to get the volume. All right, try to check it on your own device. For the rest of y'all, are you able to hear me loud and clear? So Galaxy Note, I think it could be the device that you're zooming in from. You should actually be using the internet audio on your device. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, so very quickly, what have you started with? Very simple. What you started with is, to me, a full system that already, you know, has everything in place, and all you need to concentrate on is marketing the business. So most businesses do not start out that way. You have actually started with a website that's been set up for you, programming that's been done for you, and a web design for you. Now, if you go outside and you check this out, this itself, if you're building an e-commerce business, it would be in a 5-figure range, maybe 10,000 and up. And if you build a normal static website that doesn't have a pay card and doesn't allow you to do any form of shopping, that would maybe be close to a couple of $2,000, $3,000 just for a website up. So all of this has already been set up for you, and you paid a lot cheaper for that. Right? And there are over 30 language translations, so that as you build your business, wherever your customer is buying from, you don't have to worry whether they understand English or they understand Mandarin or they understand Malay, because all of this is embedded into your website. And also there's multi-currency payment that's being accepted on your website. So you also, again, don't have to, you know, this really is a global business. I have some friends who are zooming in from Malaysia this morning. And, you know, yesterday I didn't get to see them because I was based in Singapore. But here I have them online right now with me. So again, I'm not going to be expecting them. If I'm going to have customers from Malaysia, I cannot expect them to be paying me in Sing dollars. So the website actually allows you to accept different countries' currencies. And we're talking about 140 over countries. Later on, I'll explain to you that. So also, we'll continue to source quality products from renowned medical scientists for you, which there already is a demand for. Yesterday, I talked about business trends. One of the trends that I mentioned about is the anti-aging trend, which passed $1 trillion trend in 2025. And this is by BCC Research. So, you know, the number of people in this world is about 7 over billion. But just the anti-aging trend is past past over $1 trillion. And I'm very, very excited later on to introduce to you 2 new products that our business is introducing into the marketplace. One is called Mind, and I am so excited for that because tonight we're having a training in our local Singapore office. We just had a launch over the weekend for this particular product, And we are one of the first few markets in the whole of the 140 countries that our business is in to actually launch this product. That's the Mind, which is actually for your memory and for the alertness of your mind. So that is one very amazing product. And then the other product that we just launched, and it's only right now available in the US, but later on, if you're interested to buy it, let me know. I'll teach you how to buy it on your USA shop, okay, your Byte Office shop, and that's called Envy. So that again is in the beauty industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So we're talking about really following the trends and creating products that really are necessary for people and that are wanted by people. So we're already providing shipping to 140 countries globally for you. And that means that you do not need to actually take the products and then physically ship them out yourself. So I know some online entrepreneurs personally, and some of them are doing with children's books, some of them, some of the moms are dealing with children's clothing, and they actually had to physically source for these products from the US. I knew a friend who was doing plus size clothing for women. So because in Asia context, not many of them were wearing plus size, so she had to source a lot of her products from US, and she would bring them in, and she had to personally sometimes fly down to the US to just check out the designs and bring them in. And once she brought them in, that wasn't the end of her journey. She would actually have to, when people ordered, she would have to pack the products and then ship them out. Now, sometimes the shipping cost was more expensive than the product itself. So it did not make sense, and most people did not end up buying the products. So the good thing about this is the online business that you have already provides shipping to 140 countries. It's like drop shipping. You do not even need to ship it out yourself. So your customer buys from that particular country, puts down the shipping address, that country that they're in, and then the company ships it out to them immediately. Now, all of this online business requires licensing for importing of products and distribution of products, and that is already settled for every country that we are shipping to. So in Singapore, we are governed by HSA and AVA licenses, and all of this, it is already in place. All the regulations are in place, and I want to talk a little bit about licensing. Yesterday I mentioned, but some of you who are logging in today for the first time, you might not know much about the licensing. I have a friend in import and export trade, and he tells me that licensing is on a yearly basis within Singapore. So if you had to bring in one product, you needed an import license. And the class of products that you're bringing in, the license depends on what product you're bringing in. So if you're bringing in a product that's just to be applied on the face, that is the lowest class of products, and that will be the cheapest license. It could be 1,000 Sing dollars per year. But if you're bringing more, a bit more complex products that you're consuming, you're putting into your mouth, and then you're eating it, what happens is that it could go up to $10,000 per year just to import that one particular product. And once you import a product into Singapore, you are not yet allowed to distribute the product. You still need a license to distribute the product as well. So the distribution license itself also varies depending on the class of licensing. So if you're talking about just one product, it could cost you up to $10,000 or more for the license to import as well as to distribute. We have also created mobile apps because we realized that what is important is most of us are on our smartphones all the time. So very few of us get onto to our laptop. And so that's why we've created the mobile app, and you can actually run the business from the palm of your hand. You can look at the marketing videos and you can send this to your customers. It's very easy to do. We continue to provide ongoing business support among other business entrepreneurs. I told you about the community of mompreneurs that we have, that we meet up consistently with, and we move you on for a 1-year internship where we'll walk you through the whole business, and we will ensure that you become successful after 1 year, and then we expect you to kind of pay it forward to the next homepreneur that requires this business to change their family's life. We also want to teach you how to find other business partners to expand your e-commerce business. And then this is depending on how fast you want the business to grow to earn more income as a result. I want to tell you that you are really underpaid for this business platform, because this online business platform that you have in your hands, not just is it a very full system as you saw in the earlier slide, but it was actually created by a couple who manage computer back-end offices and infrastructures for over 20 years. So prior to using that experience to build this online business platform, they had already managed other computer backend offices and infrastructures for other well-known companies and Fortune 500 companies. And they had previously created and sold the computer programming software to NASA, which today is still being used by NASA. So can you imagine that, all right? And you are also in the winner's circle on this online business platform. We have won 6 American Business Awards and 12 television awards. Now, if you're not sure of the American Business Award, maybe you've never heard of that, well, the American Business Awards are sought after by Fortune 500 companies that I'm very certain you have heard of, like Google, Sony, Cisco, AT&T, Wells Fargo, Beats Electronics. And in the year 2014, when we won the American Business Award, one of the awards that we won was for Company of the Year. Now, that very year, we were competing against Google, Sony, Cisco, AT&T, Wells Fargo, and we came out as Company of the Year against all of these major multi-billion-dollar companies. We are also on the Inc. 500 list, and the Inc. 500 list measures the 3-year revenue growth of America's fastest-growing private companies. So we are a privately held company. We are not public listed. It means that all the revenue that you see being generated within the company comes directly from the sales of the products. Last year alone, we hit 1.4 billion in US dollars in sales revenue. And the year before, which was in 2015, we hit past $1 billion. We hit 1.1 billion in terms of sales revenue. Now, let's quickly log into our website. I know all of you are excited to get started. Again, for those of you who are zooming in, if you could just set up 2 things, I'll give you a couple of minutes. I know some of you are preparing maybe lunch for your kids before they get back home from school. But if you could have 2 devices would be perfect. Now, the device that you're watching me from, that could be a mobile device. I'm not sure what you're using. I think most of you will be on your mobile device. And if you could set up a laptop, all right, so that you're watching me from your mobile device, and then you have your laptop in front of you, and you're also zooming in on your laptop. Now, the zoom in from your laptop is very simple. You just put down the ID that I sent out earlier on, and you put it into your web browser. So if you have 2 devices, will be perfect, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to log into your website, and I'm going to run through with you, what each of the menu bar represents. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, you should, if you're logging in from the front of your website, it should look like this. You should have a login page and then a password. And at the on the left hand side here, you can see that you can download the app that I was talking about, and it's called the J Mobile. You can download it if you're holding onto an iPhone. You can download it from the Apple Store. If you are using an Android phone, you can download it from the Google Play Store. Now, at this point in time, I just want to show you what it looks like if you're downloading it, or rather if you're logging in from your own J Mobile. Okay, so let me just stop the slide here for a while. Okay, so if you're logging in from your J Mobile, everyone, I think you can see this. What you want to be doing is input your username and then your ID. All right, so once you input that, I'm just going to write that in. Okay. All right. So I just want to get to the same page so that everyone will be on the same page. So if you're logging in from J Mobile, I'm just going to show you where to get to the website itself, because later on my screen, it will be all on the website. So once you get to this page, can you see at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you can see 3 lines, and that's the menu bar. Click on it and go all the way down, scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says Back Office Web. The icon is a globe, and then click on that. Okay, so it's loading, and then you would get onto the internet, the web page screen itself. So this is where I'm going to start from. All right, so everyone is here. I'm going to actually then share back my slide. Okay, So when you get into your website, you should be able to see the menu bar right at the top. So it says My Profile, Shop, Reports, My Profile, Members Only, Shop, Reports, Auto Ship, Mailbox, Wallet, Help Desk, J2s. Now you shouldn't be seeing the Zen Effect because my slide is taken quite a while back, all right? The Zen Effect was a competition that was held. So I'm going to run through all of these toolbars at the top and what each of these menus represent. And then I'm going to just briefly run through because later on I'm going to show you the training schedule. Don't worry if you don't get everything or you can't quite remember everything, because every week we have a Zoom training on the back office, which is what you're looking at right now, okay? Now at the front, right here at the top, you can see there's this thing called My Profile. Now My Profile here, this is where when you actually started your website, you had to key in some of your details like your email address, your contact number, your shipping address, and then whether there was a co-applicant or no non-co-applicant. And all of that you should find under My Profile. At any point in time, if you want to make any changes to your shipping address, your email address, your contact number, you need to go into My Profile and update it. And once you've updated it, do make the change by saving it. Now there's one thing that you cannot make a change from this particular My Profile, and that is adding a co-applicant. So if you needed to add a co-applicant, do take note, all right? For a co-applicant, you would need to fill out an application form. Let's say when you join, you only put in your name. But you can actually put in a co-applicant, but you did not, maybe you did not put in at that point in time. So you join it already, and then you now want to put in a co-applicant, like maybe your spouse or a family member or a friend. If you want to put that in, you need to go to the local office. Now, if you don't have a local office in your country, later on I'll show you where to get the documents to actually get the application form and submit it on a soft copy. But if you have a physical local office, do get the application form for addition of co-applicant, or even if you want to change your co-applicant, you can do that as well. So once you fill out that form, submit that form, but you do have to pay a fee for adding a co-applicant in. Okay, so that is that. And now one more thing that you would use My Profile for is as soon as you want to add, you want to put a member in, you're signing somebody up who wants to do the business, you need to actually go into My Profile, make sure that you have set the placement, either the left or the right. All right, for those of you who are not yet Sapphire leaders, now some of you are new and you're wondering what am I talking about in terms of what are Sapphire leaders? Again, don't worry about that. We are having a compensation plan training, which I'll talk about on how to earn money from the business. And then they'll explain to you a little bit more about this thing called a Sapphire rank. So for those of you who are not yet Sapphire rank, the only default that you can put is either the left, the right, or automatic. So if you put on left, it means that all the person that you sign up will be on your left side. If you put on the right, it will all be on the right side. If you put automatic, what happens is that it will change accordingly. So it will either be on the left-hand side, and then the next person that you sign up will be on the right-hand side, and then the following person on the left-hand side, and then right-hand side, okay? Now, if you're Sapphire Leader and above, you are actually get an additional option where you can choose to put it on the different legs. You can choose to actually place it under a particular URL inside your organization. So that one you can actually choose, only for Sapphire Leaders and above. Okay. Now, so make sure that you do your placement before you actually sign up a new person, a new business partner. Now let's go on to Members Only. Members Only is where you get all the documentation, just like I mentioned about application forms. If you also need product information, the PDF files, the PowerPoint presentations, the marketing material, you can find all of this in Members Only under J-Cloud. And the good thing about the J-Cloud is that it has it in multiple languages. It has it in English, it has it in Chinese, it has it in Malay, it has it in Spanish, Indonesian, Japanese, so on and so forth. Under distributor information, same thing. This is where you have all the application forms, all right, that are necessary. Sometimes you are paying by credit card, and maybe you're making multiple transactions using one particular credit card. Now, in order to prevent fraudulent transactions, the company has had this policy where you need to fill up a credit card application form to actually whitelist your credit card itself, so that you don't have an issue with that credit card. Else what happens is they actually only allow you to have maybe two or three transactions, and then after that they do not allow you to use that credit card anymore. Okay, so that's where you can get distributed information. Also under distributed information, what's important is that there are a few interviews that were done with Dr. Nathan Newman and Dr. Vincent Giampapa that you might want to actually go in there to actually take a look and listen in. All right. Now, under events, this is where you have all the events that are happening worldwide. So this is good because what happens is that this business, as you build and you have business partners from all over the world, you want to know what are the events that are happening around the world. All right, where are the business presentations being shown around the world? And this is where you can actually look at the events page, and you will see it. You can see that globally where the events being held and at what time and at what dates. So news and announcements as well about the upcoming events that are happening. This is more on direct from the headquarters of Florida. All right, all the announcements that are happening in the company. You can send this to a friend. Okay, so you can actually have the soft copy and send it to a friend, the PDF file. Also, one more thing in JCloud, if you have, if you're building teams and you have people who have gotten rank achievement, okay, and you want to kind of congratulate them, and you know you've seen those like Sapphire rank achievement or Jade rank achievement or Pearl rank achievement or Ruby rank achievement, and you want to put that picture in, you can actually find it on the JCloud as well. Under the PowerPoint on a rank advancement, all right, you can actually find it there and put a picture in. So you can download the files. In the event that you don't have Wi-Fi, you have access to all of the files without having to have the internet access. You can also upload files. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a local physical office in your country, a lot of the paperwork has to be done online. So this is where you can upload the files that are necessary to either do an update of co-applicant or an addition of co-applicant or a whitelisting of your credit card or any other necessary changes. Now let's go on to shop. You can see on your profile page, the shop. So what happens in the shop is, this is where you can actually go in and you can see the list of countries that we're shipping to. As I mentioned earlier, 140 over countries. I believe the last count is 149. But I would need you to count it for me if you can, okay? So go in there and count the number of countries. And it's a whole lot of countries. Let me tell you, some of the countries, I'm not even sure where they are. If you gave me a map, I wouldn't be able to point that out to you. So that is the magnitude and the potential of your business now that you've started it. You know, I'm glad that we live in Singapore, because I realized that Singapore really is a cosmopolitan city where I would think that most of us know at least 5 people from different countries outside of Singapore. So this is where a global online business for us is ideal, especially as we are working from home. Another thing that Shop is useful for is this. Earlier on, I mentioned about this new product launch called Envy, which is not yet available in Singapore, and it's not yet available, in fact, outside of US. So if you intend to buy that particular product, you can go into your country, go into Shop, and go into USA. So as in USA, you can actually buy the product, but you would need a shipping address within USA, all right? Now, VPost, which is our local postal office, actually provides free shipping addresses, postal addresses for 4 major regions in the world, like US, Europe, Japan, and China. So in the event that you would like to purchase any of these products, you can actually go into Shop, first get a free shipping address from vpost.com.sg. I think for the other countries, if you're zooming in from Malaysia, you can use, I believe, ComGateway would be a good one. I think they do ship to Malaysia. I'm not too sure about that, but you would have to do a bit of research on what is the local shipping that they actually ship into Malaysia if you're buying from the US, okay? So for Singapore, you can use ComGateway, you can use VPost. I like using VPost. You don't make any payment until the product gets into the VPost warehouse, and then you pay based on the weight of the product itself. So the Envy product is actually very, very light. And then once you ship out, all right, you put in the postal address, then what happens is the company ships directly into Singapore itself. So you then get the product. Now, another thing that you can use Shop for is this. If you have friends or relatives who are overseas, let's say they are maybe based in Australia or in China, and they want to try the product, don't buy it from your own local Singapore office shop and then, you know, pack it and then send it to them. It doesn't make sense because we're already shipping to those countries. So what you want to do is go into your shop over here, choose a country of choice. Let's say they're living in Australia, choose Australia, get their shipping address, and then input the shipping address in, and then the company will ship out the product for you directly from their warehouse in Australia to them. Okay? Now, I want to give you an example of what I did when I was last year when I was in Orlando for an event. So I went there, I wanted to pick up a product, and that particular product called ANPM, which is by Dr. Vincent Giampapa, the Nobel Prize nominee doctor, was not available in Singapore yet. So what I did was I actually went to my shop, I go into USA, and I bought a product and I chose pickup because I was at Florida itself where the warehouse is based, and I went personally to pick up the products. So again, as I mentioned, you don't have to just shop within your own country. Now, if you're interested, you can actually go and look at all the other countries. The products vary slightly because of the licensing. So if you see some product that you like, maybe from Thailand that's not available in Singapore and you wanted to purchase it, you can also do so by here. The only thing is that you would need a shipping address for Thailand to ship right to Singapore, or you would need a friend to maybe help you pick up from Thailand. Or if you're going down to Thailand, you can visit the office there to pick it up. Okay? Let's talk about reports. Now, I check this on a regular basis, and if you're a serious business builder, you would want to check this almost every day or every few days, because this is where you see what's happening in your business. Now, my business snapshot is an overview of your organization. Your sales map, all right, unfortunately, unless you are of a certain volume, okay, of a diamond volume, which is about 1,000 cycles every month, you will not be able to see your sales map. But I'm just curious, anyone here in the Zoom meeting right now that would like to see what a sales map looks like? Anyone? If yes, just put, you know, you can raise your hand in the chat group, or you can just put down yes. Okay, I see some. All right, so, all right, let's get in. Let me just share with you mine. All right, I see a lot of hands being raised. So I've got to stop the share here for a while. And then I'm going to get onto the, I'm going to get to my URL itself. Okay, I'm going to log in. So I'm going to hide my URL, right? Sensitive, all right? Just give me a moment, I'm logging in. And I want to show you what a sales map looks like. Now, a sales map is nothing more than your business, how it's expanded all over the world. So, okay, let's try to share this. Okay, can everyone see this? Yeah, I think everyone can see this. And then what you want to do is get into reports, as I mentioned. Oops, here we go. And then click on sales map. Now, the sales map is real time, meaning that because it's an online business, it is being updated every maybe half an hour or less. And it is real time, meaning you can see that right now, just in this area, it's blinking. So this is happening right now in USA while I'm sitting here explaining the business to you. Wouldn't you like a business that is like this, where orders are coming in while you are doing a training, or orders are coming in while you are going to, you know, you're spending time with your family, while orders are coming in when you're going to exercise. So this is the legend. A red represents your signups, blue is orders, and then purple is orders and signups. So Canada, all right, now 7 orders coming in from United States. And on different days, all right, you must understand, okay, I'm trying to open this. On different days, I see different things. Because, as I mentioned, this is real. This is happening real time. So it's happening right now all over the world. So there are some days when I see something happening over here in Europe, and then Africa, And this little area here, you will not see anything yet because this is India. We are opening up in April. So if you have people that you know, potential business partners who want to build a business, an online business in India that's already shipping to 140 countries, well, what I want you to tell you is quickly get them ready for it because it's going to come in and it's going to come in well. We already have the Luminous range approved in terms of licensing for this particular range of products. And look at this. This is Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Hong Kong. What's behind there? Hong Kong, Macau, I believe, Macau. And then this happening right now, China, and then, all right. So all of this is happening right now. And I want to let you know that, in fact, most of you have been doing the business for 1 year. You would actually have an organization that's similar to mine. But the only difference is you can't see it on your sales map. So don't be discouraged because I know that most of you have already had after building for 1 over a year, you probably are in 20 over countries, but you cannot just see it real time because only if you've created a certain sales volume can you see it on the sales map. So I'm going to show you where you can see it from, okay? So if this sales map has been helpful, all right, raise your hand and let me know. And then just say yes into the chat group if this has been helpful and it has given you inspiration and motivation. The last time I got the homepreneurs to take a picture if they needed to inspire themselves. But today I think my map is not coming up very well because usually it fills up my screen very, very nicely. So where can you see your own organization growth in those countries in your own back office? It's here under distributor report. So if you click on distributor reports, you should be able to see sales volume by country. And when you click on that, you actually can see how your business has expanded to maybe 5 countries, 6 countries, 10 countries, 20 countries, depending on how long you've been building the business, all right, and how expensive is your network. Now, I want to tell you that, as I mentioned yesterday, you know, even though I am already in 50 countries, that is the last update when I checked, I did not actually physically go and build in those countries. What happened was because of the fact that this business platform is online, a lot of times, all right, it's been able to expand as a result of the World Wide Web, which is to me the biggest country in the world, the World Wide Web, okay? So you can see your distributor report over here. And then this is your orders. You can see what orders are coming in within your organization. And then the genealogy or beta genealogy is just the organization itself. And cycles, as I mentioned, if you're not too sure what cycles is, this is just how you're being paid as well. And for cycles and commission, you know how much you're being paid on a weekly basis. This you can actually zoom in on when we're doing a compensation plan on one of the evenings, which later on I'll show you the schedule for. Okay, binary information, again, this is your organization structure. Retail customers. Now, later on, I'll explain to you a little bit on what are the ways that the money is being made on your business platform, all right? Not just retail customers. But then what I want to share with you is if a customer comes online to buy the product, the same way that you go on to Amazon to buy a product, you are actually a retail customer of Amazon. So if you're going to buy a product, all right, you can choose to either have your information captured so that the next time you come back onto the website, you can actually bring up all the information and you do not need to key everything in. So it's the same way the customer comes onto your website and they like the product very much. If they want their data to be captured, all right, don't worry, none of the confidential stuff are captured, only the name, the contact number, email address, and the shipping address. The credit card details are never captured, right? So all of this, once it's captured, it means that they as a returning customer can bring up all of these details in again. Now, they can also choose not to have their information captured. So if they don't have their information captured, then you cannot follow up with them. But if they choose to have their information captured, like their name, contact number, email address, and shipping address, what you can do is follow up with them because they become your retail customers and you can see their information under reports, under retail customers. So when you actually follow up with them, all right, for me at the beginning when I was running the business, all right, I had a lot of retail customers coming in and I showed you all the invoices yesterday. So I had a lot of customers coming in. I actually made contact with them, and because I have the email address, I have the contact number, I actually follow up with them by asking them how did they find the product, you know, what were the benefits that they got from the product. I give them a little bit of tips and advice on using the product. And then if they repeat purchase, I then ask them, would they like to join our VIP membership, where they'll get between 20 to 45% off on their products. And most of the time they would opt in for that because that's a discount for them. So when they did that, all right, what happens is actually they become a VIP member, which is they get 20 to 45% off by getting the starter kit, right? Right now, the starter kit is at US $1. We're having a promotion for that. So they join that, and then eventually as they use the products and they repeat purchase and they're buying already at a discount, I then go on to ask them, since they are using the products and are benefited for the products, would they like to be able to share the products and earn a commission from that? So I convert them from retail customers to members to then business partners with me. So most of them already have benefited from the products, especially if they're repeat customers. And because of that, they don't mind sharing the products and getting some sort of income from that. Okay, so that is where you can get their customers database is from retail customers. Now, downline orders, you can see your organization orders, if they did any refunds. The promotion code, up to today, I've yet to use any promotion code, but sometimes you might be given a promotion code from the company. And also the bonus credit transaction. Now, recently we had an event that was being held in Singapore, and it's called the Star event that was being held at Suntec City. So during the event, they usually have a package launch, an event package launch, and this time around we had a package launch which included the Mind. So this is a new product that, as I mentioned earlier, we are one of the few countries globally that is distributing this particular product, and it's actually for memory loss. It's also for alertness of your mind. And usually the event packages come with a bonus credit assigned to it. So if you had bought the 2000 package, you would have gotten 500 credit bonus. So you can use that for any future purchases within your shop itself, but please take note that you only have 6 months to use the bonus credit token, after which, all right, it would be forfeited. So do take note, 6 months from the time that you make the purchase of the event package. So you can see your bonus credit transactions here, and you can also see what bonus credit tokens you have and how much you can use. Now let's talk about Autoship management. So some of you might not be familiar with Autoship as of now, but I want to just highlight that there are two Autoship. All right, when you actually started the business, you were asked to choose either one of this Autoship, either a normal monthly Autoship, a conditional Autoship, or unconditional Autoship. And then there is a prepaid Autoship. Okay, now a very simple way to explain this is a normal monthly Autoship. It means that every single month you have a credit card that you have put in place in your back office. The data is all of that. And every month, if there's a product that you like, in particular for me, it's the serum, because you've seen how my face has changed as a result of using the serum. So I put in my credit card, and every month, all right, I have a normal monthly Autoship where my credit card gets deducted, and then I get the bottle of serum either being shipped to me or delivered to me, or I can pick it up from my local office if I have a physical office in my country. Now, a prepaid Autoship is slightly different. Maybe I use more than one product a month, but I want the Autoship, the 60 points, to be pushed forward to the next month. So that's where I buy under prepaid Autoship. So for me, I usually consume a serum on 1 month and a reserve 1 month. So that's already 120 CV. So I actually buy one on prepaid Autoship, and the other one I actually put on normal monthly Autoship. So I put the reserve on prepaid. So if I want to buy a bit more, what I do is this. I maybe buy 6 months of prepaid Autoship, and what happens is it helps me to keep 60 CV for 6 months ahead. But I get the products now, and I pay for the products now. Okay, and for 6 months prepaid Autoship, you actually get 1 free bottle of serum. Now I want to illustrate this a little bit more detailed. So let's take a look at this. I think you can see this on your screen, and you might want to take a picture of this, because this is a summary of what are all the different Autoship types, so that you don't get confused. Okay, there are 3 different categories. Now you can shop, as I mentioned earlier, you can shop orders, you can make it anytime, and points are issued to your account immediately. So it's for that particular month that you're buying. All right. Now, if you want the points to go, let's say you've already maintained your 60 CV and you want the points to go for the following months of, 60 CV, then what you want to do is buy under prepaid auto ship. So when you buy under prepaid auto ship, you get the product now, you pay for it now, but your points are counted on your next auto ship date. All right. It is written here. Prepaid orders are made before auto ship date. Points will be issued to your account on next auto ship date. So you have to do your prepaid auto ship before your auto ship date in order for your points to then be added to your next auto ship date. Now, normal monthly auto ship, this one, most of us set this up. And normal monthly orders are made on auto ship date or within the 7 days grace period. So if you are still within this, you are given 7 days grace period to have your order ship done. If you've passed your order ship date. So if your order ship date is on the 1st of every month, you have until 8 of that month to actually make a normal monthly auto ship orders. And points will be issued to your account immediately. Under normal monthly auto ship, there are two kinds. One is unconditional and one is conditional. Okay, what does this mean? Well, unconditional auto ship means that your auto ship will be processed, all right, regardless of whether or not in that month you have maintained the 60 CV, okay? So I like to put it on conditional auto ship because what it means is that your auto ship will be waived and not processed when one of two conditions are met. Either you actually you make a purchase of a qualifying order made before the auto ship date, or you have an active prepaid auto ship order that is already in place. Okay, now if you have any questions, please post in the chat because I want to make sure that this is very clear. So let's go back again to normal monthly auto ship date. Under unconditional, the distributor auto ship will process every month, provided the billing information is correct and up to date. Additionally, a successful unconditional auto ship order will qualify them to receive any excess CV, which will go towards their weaker leg until their next auto ship date. All right. Under conditional normal monthly auto ship, if you're on normal conditional auto ship, your auto ship will be waived and not processed when one of the two conditions are met. Either the purchase of a qualifying order made before the auto ship date, or you have an active prepaid auto ship order, and therefore your normal monthly auto ship date, normal monthly auto ship will be waived. Okay. Please note that the terms of conditional auto ship are not retroactive. Making 2 or more qualifying purchases during 1 month will not waive 2 or more months of auto ship. So if you make a purchase of 120 CV for that particular month and you put yourself on conditional auto ship, what happens is your auto ship will be waived only for that particular month. All right, that remaining 60 CV surplus excess will not be pushed forward to the next month. Okay? Any questions at this point in time? If you have, put into the chat group so I can answer them right now. If not, let's go on to mailbox. Now the mailbox is where I like to go in again every few days because I want to see what's happening around the world in the business that I'm building. So you can see for my mailbox, this was taken in 2015. There's something happening in Italy, or there's something happening, I think this is in Spanish, and then in Taiwan and Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Bangkok, Europe, Russia. You can see all of the happenings around the world. You can see all of the promotions, all of the rank achievements, all of the announcements around the world. I had one question here. Let me just try to bring that up. All right, so Karen asked which order ship is good. For me personally, all right, I like to put myself on conditional monthly auto ship. Okay, so as I mentioned, conditional monthly auto ship means that my monthly auto ship continues as per normal unless I have either one of this condition where I already made a qualifying order, like maybe today I bought the event package, so then it's before my auto ship date, so my auto ship is waived. Or I have maybe a promotion that came up for prepaid order ship and I like that prepaid order ship promotion and I want to participate in that. So I buy the prepaid for 6 months. What's going to happen is that for the next 6 months, my normal monthly order ship will be waived, so my credit card will not be charged. So I would like to put myself on conditional monthly auto ship. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, now moving a little bit too far ahead. Let me just get back to my slides. Just a moment. Okay, now let's talk about the wallet. The wallet is very important because that's where all your commission comes in for the business. As you're building business, you definitely will need to access your wallet. All right, so I want to tell you that for my picture here that I sent, you will not see, if you're new, you would have something here that allows you to set up your wallet. So before you set up your wallet, make sure you have a few things. Make sure you have your bank account name and details. And then also at the same time, make sure that you have your ID, the front and back of your ID, a copy of the front and back of your ID. And then you can set up your wallet itself. Now, do note that your username and password, the wallet, has to be different from the username and password of your website. This is for privacy and security purposes. So think of another username and password. For those of you who set up your wallet a long time ago but forgot your username and password, don't worry. Go down to your local office, provide them with your ID, okay, and then tell them that you've forgotten your password and they will be able to help you reset it. You would have to go down to your office, your local office, to let them know. Now, if you are staying in a country that doesn't have a local office, then what you want to do is go into members only, all right, and then that's where you send in the application form for your wallet, all right, the password to be retrieved. Now, when you go into your wallet, there are a few things here. This is your wallet home, your account history, commission payment, fund request, sign up tokens, wallet fees, instructions, PIN code access, and then wallet lockout. Now, for your wallet home, this is where you can have access to all the drop-down menu. The account history is your in and your out, your credit and your debit. You can actually see your electronic fund transfers as well. So this is where you can see all the daily transactions. This is your debit and credit accounting statements. Your commission payment options, you can actually choose to have your, by default, your commission payment is every week. Okay, so I give you some dates. Now, for if you are based in Singapore, make sure that before Thursday, 12 o'clock, so 11:59 a.m. in the morning, make sure you do your electronic fund transfer. If you do that by 11:59 on Thursday morning, then what's going to happen is that you're going to have your commission coming in the following week on a Wednesday after 2 p.m. because the banks will only let the money come in after 2 p.m. Okay, so again, one more time, if you want to get a fund transfer into your local bank account and you are based in Singapore, make sure that you do the fund request on your Genes account at 11:59 a.m. before Thursday. So you can do it any day before that Thursday, 11:59 a.m. for that week, and then you get it the following week on Wednesday after 2 p.m. coming into your bank account. Now, if it's the first time you're sending your wallet and you are doing a fund request from for your commission from your e-wallet, do take note it will take up to 1 to 1.5 months because it's an overseas bank account. So it will take time to set up. So if you have requested for it and you've yet to receive your money and it's the first time, please don't worry about it. Okay, it would sometimes take up to 1 and 1.5 months. So be patient. But subsequent to that, all right, it is every week. And as I mentioned, if you do it on the before the Thursday morning, you're going to get it on a Wednesday. All right. All right, let's look at fund requests. So you can actually request for a certain amount of money. You can, else if not, by default, as I mentioned, all the amount in your wallet will be coming out. Now, every time the money comes out, there will be a $2 fee that is charged. So if you're withdrawing 2,000, what happens is you will withdraw out 1,998 instead, and the $2 is an admin fee, all right, that is charged to you. Similar to your local bank account in Singapore, where if you have less than $500, you have a $2 single charge, okay? So when I first started the business and there wasn't much money or income, maybe it was about 1,000 per month, 2,000 per month, what I did was I waited until the end of the month and then I did one electronic fund transfer. So I only had one $2 deduction. Else every week I would have a $2 deduction by default. What's a sign-up token? A sign-up token is something that you can create like a cash card, similar to a cash card in Singapore. For those of you who are not familiar, all right, you can actually put money, if you have money in your e-wallet and someone else in an wants to make a purchase and they want to pay you in cash, they don't want to pay in credit card, they pay you in cash, what you can do is create a sign-up token for them, input the amount of money that you want, and then give them the sign-up token name and your URL, and then they can go onto their own back office shop to make a purchase using your sign-up token. But because they've paid you in cash, so they're using your sign-up token to make purchase from their shop itself. So these are some of the wallet fees that you click and you can find out, all right? So as I mentioned earlier on, there's a $2 wallet fee for every fund transfer or a local bank fund transfer. There's also a fee for leaving your, let's say you set up your wallet and for 6 months you have not done any transaction. What I mean by transaction, if there's money that has come in already and you do not do either a purchase from your shop using your e-wallet, or you do not actually do an electronic fund transfer for the money being taken out of your e-wallet, there will also be a fee, all right? So that fee is $20 US dollars, okay? So 20 or 25, all right? Between 20 to 25 US dollars. All right, let's go on. So this is what I'm talking about, all right? This is the current payment method that I've put in, or you can actually remove this, and then as and when you want to do a fund transfer, you just do a fund request here. This is where you can upload your government ID, photo ID, and then your wallet address settings, your sign-up tokens. You can also register a pay card. So on top of being able to do an electronic fund transfer, you can actually request for a pay card, and it uses an external party called a Paylution. So this particular Paylution allows you to put your funds from your e-wallet into a pay card, and the pay card is like a debit card that you can use anywhere in the world. You can actually go to any ATM that has the particular plus, okay, and you can actually withdraw money in that local currency. So this is if you do not want to actually put any money into your local bank account. On top of that, you can actually use that card and sign for purchases. But of course, it's only based on the amount of money that you transferred from your e-wallet to that pay card. So you can register your pay card here. You would have to purchase the pay card at about $10, and then you can set it up. And again, it takes about, I think, 1 to 2 weeks for everything to be set up, and then you can start using this. So that pay card is good for those of you all who maybe do not want any money being shown in your local bank account. You know, maybe you have other businesses or your employment, and you just want to use it on a pay card. This is a good way to actually retrieve your commission itself. Okay, now let's move on. And I want to talk to you about help desk. Excuse me. And your help desk is where if you need any help, all right, any immediate help within about 3 days, 3 working days, you should get a reply. So if you don't have a local physical office, I suggest that you write into your help desk, and your help desk can be found in your back office. So this is an example of what a help desk looks like. Okay, you can put your name, your email address. Please ensure that you have an email address that is being used frequently, so that if you get a reply, you would know, you would receive it immediately, and you can follow up on that. And then your phone, again, put down a phone number that you use frequently, put in your title, a description, and then the classification of your problem. You should expect a reply within 3 days or less. If you don't receive a reply after 3 days, please follow up and write in one more time. Now, sorry, I'm a bit excited, so my child is getting excited as well. Now, if you have a local physical office, my suggestion to you is to write into your local physical office, especially if it's to do with delivery or it's to do with something in terms of product exchange or refund. My suggestion is if you need more immediate help, to write into your local office. Okay, so I'm going to show you where to get your contact for your physical offices. Okay, now go to the front of your website. And then under the globe here, you can see, you click on it, go under markets. Okay, select your market or country. So these are all the countries that we have a physical office in. And let's say, for example, that you have a question and you're based in Malaysia and you're not sure where to write into. Well, click on Malaysia. Okay, and then go under people and contact. So this again is where you have all the physical offices. As you can see here, you have the email addresses, you have the contact number, you even have the opening hours, international offices. Move all the way down here, you should be able to find Malaysia, and then this is the email address that you can write into instead of the help desk if you need more immediate help and you're based in Malaysia. All right, so all of the contact lists are all here. Okay, and then J-Tools, you might not see all of this here. As I mentioned, this could be, it's been updated. So My Leads is your marketing campaign. My mobile profile, you can add that in. My inventory, if you have samples. Now, only in the US, we have samples. So if you want samples of Instantly Ageless or samples of the Luminous Serum, what you can do is you can order in from the US and you can actually set up a marketing campaign where you put in your contact base or your contact leads, and then you can send them samples. And this is the admin. Now, J is social and Success on Demand. These are, for the first month, you can try them out. They're free, but subsequent ones, you have to pay a monthly fee for them. Okay, so Success on Demand is a website that basically has all of the motivational videos and materials to help you upgrade yourself, all right, to get better in this business. And J Social is a social networking platform. Now, J Cloud, you actually saw this earlier under members only, where we have all the PDF files and all the presentation slides available. Now, I want to quickly go on to the skill set that I want to teach you, which I feel is necessary as you build the business online. So it's called internet marketing. So if you get this skill set, it's going to help you. Very simple. All you need is 1 to 2 hours each day on social media platforms like Facebook, forums, Twitter, etc. All right. Now, let me just pause here for a while because I remember that there was a question earlier on. I think there was a question that was sent. So let me just clear that up. And if you have any question about back office, just post it in right now so I can talk about it before I move on to the internet marketing aspect of it. Okay, so I've mentioned which authorship is good. But unconditional authorship can help give CV to my weaker link if I have more than 60 CVs, right? Yes, Karen, that's right. If you put yourself on unconditional authorship, any excess CV beyond 60 would then be put onto your weaker link. All right, so I'm going to move on. If there's no more questions, let's go into the internet marketing aspect. So again, it's spending a couple of hours every day, 1 to 2 hours, depending on your time, all right? Because you're a stay-at-home mom, I understand that you don't have, you don't have 9 to 5. You have, well, I would say flexible hours when the kids are in school. That's when you're free in the mornings, like myself right now. And then when they're home from school, you have things that you need to do, and it's difficult to, I would think it's difficult to multitask. I've done that. I'm a mom, I know that, all right? Sometimes my kid's talking to me and I'm on the phone, or I'm trying to do something and I can't concentrate, and I feel bad as well. I feel bad kind of like having them talk to me while my face or my eyes are on the phone or my laptop. So I like to do my work, when they're not around, and when they are around and I do need to do the work, and I like them to be exposed as well. I kind of like tell them, I said, Mommy's doing some work, you can just be sitting next to me and doing your own thing, playing your own things, but I have to be concentrating. So, when I'm done, I'll come to you, you see. So those are the times, or when the kids are asleep, that's when you have the hours to actually go onto social media platforms like Facebook, forums, Twitter. So my average for you is maybe 1 to 2 hours each day. spend time and provide solution in 3 major places that I'm looking at: forum, Twitter, and Facebook. So for forum, the concept is this: copy and paste a solution found on the website. Let me give you an example. The first thing that you want to do is create a template for all of the products. Now, if you haven't started using the products, then what you want to do is first start using the products, because you really have to believe in the products. You have to have benefited from the products. I don't want you to be a salesperson of the products. I want you to be a good share of the products. The same way that if you want to watch a good movie, you want to eat at a nice restaurant, you would share with a close friend, you would share with a family or relative or a business partner, because this is something that has benefited you. So if you have not benefited from the products yet, do start using the products first. All right, be convinced about the products first. All right, once you're convinced about the products, what you want to do is create a template. Now, for myself, there are a few key templates that I have. I have a template for serum, and the template means that I just open a Word document, put there serum, and then I have a template for Reserve. I have a template for Instantly Ageless, and recently with the new product Envy, I have a template for that. So you can create for as many products in our business platform as possible. But you first need to try the products and have benefited from the products, or know other people who have benefited from the products. So let me give you an example of serum. Once you create a template on a Word document, put that serum and start to write down what are the testimonials and what are the benefits that you've seen from using that particular product. So for me, I benefited, clearing up of acne, controlling of oil, rebalancing of the oil, reduction of pigmentation, reduce wrinkles, reduce fine lines. These are all the benefits that I've experienced myself. Whitening experience, lightening of my, more even tone. I used to have 2 tone, one for my forehead, one for my cheeks, I don't know why, but now it's an even tone. And then, pores, enlargement, reduction, in fact. So I list this down, okay? So because these are the solutions that it has been able to provide for this particular product. Now, in my example here, I actually create a template for Instantly Ageless. And all of y'all know what Instantly Ageless does. It removes eye bags. So the solution that it does is it removes eye bags under your eyes. But what I want to do is I create this template. In fact, Instantly Ageless doesn't reduce eye bags or remove eye bags. It actually also, I've tried it out on forehead, the deep lines. It has removed that. It has removed scarring, but temporarily for the 8 hours. And also it has reduced pore marks, the holes and all that. So I created that. And then I went on to Google, and I also want to find solution tips that are found in Google besides my product that provides that solution. So I went to find eye bag removal solution tips, and I Googled that. And this is where I got 3 ways to get rid of bags under your eyes from WikiHow. Now, you can use anywhere under here, all right, the natural remedies. And I copied all of the ways to remove eye bags, like drink plenty of water, soothe your eyes with something cold. I copied that and I put it on my template. And what I want to do is now, all right, put my own solution, which is maybe the Instantly Ageless, and sandwich it between all the other solutions that Google is providing for. So let me give you an example. In my template, it could be getting rid of eye bags. Number 1, drink plenty of water. Number 2, apply a polypeptide eye cream just before your makeup. Okay, and then I put my URL, which is my Instantly Ageless. And then number 3, soothe your eyes with something cold. Now, I do not want to put my full Instantly Ageless URL because it's too long, all right? I want to put something that is in context. So I'm going to show you how to create a tiny URL. I call it a tiny URL, which is a URL that could be in context with whatever the person is reading, because I'm going to take all of this solution and paste it in a forum of somebody who's looking for a solution of getting rid of the eye bags. They're going to see my solution is going to be drink plenty of water, or you could apply a polypeptide cream just before you put on your makeup, and then my website, and then soothe your eyes with something cold. Okay, so let me share with you how to create that URL. So let's talk about Instantly Ageless as a product. Again, I'm going to get to the front of my website. And because I'm going to be retailing Instantly Ageless, I have to get the price from the front of my website. Okay, so I come to here, get into your own URL, whatever your URL is, type it in, go under products, depending on what product you're marketing. If it's serum, it's here. If it's reserve, it's day cream, night repair, body renewal, cleanser, lifting mask, or in my case, I'm trying to promote and market Instantly Ageless. So I click on here, and this is going to be the URL that I need because I want the people who are reading my solution to be redirected immediately to this particular website, which is my own URL for Jeunesse, so that they can immediately make a purchase and add to cart. So I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to actually go into this thing called a tiny URL, TINY URL.com. Okay, I'm just going to write it into the chat group. So in case you can't see that, let me just write that into the chat group. You can actually use other ones that create, I think there's bit.ly, but I don't use that. I actually use tinyurl.com. TINY URL. So I think you can see that. Now, once again, I'm back here. Okay. Remember, I've pasted my URL, okay, that I want them to buy immediately from here, but I don't want them to see this long URL because it's a bit too long. So I want to create a tiny URL. So I go to tinyurl.com, and this is where, okay, as you can see here, let me just open it here. All right, at the bottom here it says enter a long URL to make tiny. So to make it tiny, so I paste it here. Remember just now that URL. All right, this is my online one. And then I'm going to give it a alias, another name, a custom alias. So my URL will eventually look like this. I can give it any name. It could be, because make it relevant to removal of eye bags. So I hate eye bags. Okay, it could be something like that. And then let's try making a tiny URL. Click on this, make tiny URL. Oh, it's a tiny URL. It's not available. Sorry about that. I accidentally click on this. Okay, not available. Somebody already put that in. So I have to think of another tiny URL. Okay, let's try. So many advertisements nowadays. You can see this. Okay, let me think of another tiny URL. No more eye bags now. Okay, so you can see if it's been successful, you'll see tiny URL was created. So the URL that was created for me is tinyurl.com// no more eye bags now. And this I can paste in my solutions where people will not know what exactly it is, but once they click on it, remember I can put number one, how to get rid of eye bags. Number one, maybe drink plenty of water. Number two, apply a polypeptide eye gel just below your eye. Apply a polypeptide eye gel before putting on makeup, and then put on this URL. And then the third one could be put tea bags. So if they click on this URL, where would they go? Are you curious to find out? Well, let's paste it down and let's see where they'll go. Wow. So immediately they'll be redirected to the shopping cart itself. And it's actually your own shopping cart where they can make the purchase. All right. So if this has been good, if this tip that I taught you has been good, all right, raise your hand. All right. Let me know. Put your hands up. All right. Say yes, it's been good. So anyone feels that you can use this, all right, you understand or it's clear, just raise your hand and let me know. So where do you now, thank you very much, everyone. Now, where can you then paste your solution? That's where you go into a forum where people are looking to get rid of IBEX and paste, remember the template that I talk about. Thank you everyone for your affirmation, okay? Good, so I want you to be using this, okay? I want to be using this. Now, the good thing about this is if you know multiple languages, you can create multiple of these templates. You can create it in Malay, you can create it in Bahasa Indonesia, you can create it in Tagalog, you can create it in Chinese. You don't just have to create in English because we are in the World Wide Web, remember that. And that means that we can post it anywhere in the world. And you're compliant because what's happening is you're not putting in any of the branding of Jeunesse, you're not putting in any of the branding of Instantly Ageless, you're actually redirecting back directly to your own website for them to make the purchase. And you are sandwiching all your solutions together so that they don't suspect that, oh, you're only having one solution. They actually see all your solutions. So you got to add value to them as well to make it as, make them as happy with looking at your solutions and then looking and say, hey, there's this polypeptide, which is quite good. Maybe I should try that. Okay. And it's not expensive. All right. You can see one sachet is, of the Instantly Ageless is, I think, less than $3 just to apply that. In fact, I mean, in one box, there are 50 sachets. So you just divide that up. All right. So where do you then paste your templates? So remember I mentioned you create multiple language, you create different templates for different products, and then start posting them into places where people are looking for that solution. So if they're looking for a solution to get rid of wrinkles or pigmentation of acne, post into that specific one. Don't post into breastfeeding moms forum, okay? Because you will get booted out. So post into something, I posted it into Singapore expatriate forums where people are looking for IBEX removal surgery. Now, why IBEX removal surgery? You might tell me, but that's not related, Well, most people, they go for IBEX removal surgery, because they think that they have no other choice. But it is both painful and it is also temporary and it's expensive. Now, imagine if you can go to them and tell them you can have a temporary solution that lasts for 8 hours. So that means it's almost practically the whole day. Nobody would have to see you with your IBEX if, before you go to work, you apply it on and off, when you get back home, nobody can see you. Or if you're about to go out for a dinner date after your office, just bring another sachet, apply it on. And so nobody will be able to see you with your IBEX on, okay? And you don't have to pay that money to actually go for that painful surgery. Plus, not necessarily when you go for a surgery, 100% of it will work. In this case, you just have to learn how to apply it well, and you can just, add as and when, similar to the way you put on makeup, and then you get better at it. And it's cheaper, it's so much cheaper, right? So I posted in here, and people here are already looking to remove their IBEX, so they're the perfect group of target customers that would thank you for an alternative solution that is cheaper, that is less painful, and that they can, have permanently depending on how often they apply it, okay? Now, let's move on. Let's talk about Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, do set up a Twitter account, not to complain, because most people, when they go into Twitter, what are they talking about? They're talking about, the weather, they're talking about their boss, they can't stand their boss, their colleague, they're gossiping, and they're tweeting about the government, they're not happy. Well, let's try to use Twitter for our business. And let me tell you, it's going to be easy because you're going to find the people who are tweeting about all of these complaints and problems, and you're going to make use of that. So use this thing called Twitter Advanced Search to find complaints or problems. Let me give you an example. This is what the Twitter Advanced Search looks like. And they are very specific. You can search in terms of words. You can search in terms of the people, places, and dates. So in terms of words, you can search all of these words. So as long as the tweet that they write, tweet is like maybe one paragraph or a couple of sentences, and their tweet has all of these words like eye bag removal, then they're going to show up in your search. Or you can put this exact phrase, means that it has to be in this order, eye bag removal, or any of these words. Now, any of these words, meaning if the tweet has the word eye or the word bag or the word removal, it will come out in your search, but I think that's too generic. None of these words. So if you want to use any of these words, you can maybe be putting, like maybe if you're going to be marketing serum, you can put things like pigmentation, lines, wrinkles. You might want to put any of these words comes up to you, you can do a search for that. So let's go back to instantly ageless. None of these words, again, is very generic. You want to avoid this. These hashtags, if they hashtag this, again, you can do this in multiple languages, either in English, Chinese, and others. People from these accounts or to these accounts, any of these accounts that you're looking for specifically or mentioning of a certain account. Now, places. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you don't want to go travel to too far places, or you're based in Malaysia and you're living in Kuala Lumpur and you don't want to have, find people in JB, or because you want to test on them or you want to meet up with them, you want to be more personable. But remember, this is an online business, so you can actually just, put it anywhere in the world. But you would have to communicate them based on their time zone, and you would have to find a way to maybe Zoom them or Skype them so that it's more personal rather than through email, so they can see that you really exist, that you're real. So you can also specify the places, but if you want to be specific, maybe you have a young baby, you want to only have it within your area, you can also do that. You can put that Toa Payoh area or North area of Singapore, or only in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And then dates, from this date to this date. Now, I always like to specify a very close date, because to me, I feel that if they're looking for a solution for their problem, it's not going to help if you give them a solution 1 year from then. So try to keep it within 3 to 6 months the most, because they're more likely to be open to a solution. Maybe they have not found a solution yet at that point in time. So I like to put there between 3 to 6 months or maximum 3 months. That's it. Don't go beyond that, because they probably have found a solution already. Let me show you an example of what I actually search for. I actually search for eye bag problem. And I search for all of these words, not necessarily in this order. I search eye bag and problem. So if the tweet had the word eye, the word bag, and the word problem, it would have come out in my advanced search. And this is what 5 tweets came out. I want to just show you. One says, I don't want an eye bag problem tomorrow though. So perfect, because it's a perfect candidate for my instantly ageless. This person's going to thank me because this person doesn't want the eye bag. And then Zoe says, I bought a bag of Giant Sainsbury cookies and ate 2 in the blink of an eye, and then some digestives of a biscuit problem. So it happened that her tweet had the word eye bag and problem, but not in the right order. So this is not the one that I'm looking for. And this other person said, got eye bag problem. Again, unhappy, and would definitely thank me for instantly ageless. Another lady here, eye bag, my problem, double unhappiness. Again, a target customer for instantly ageless. And the last person, ladies, we have a problem. There's a crazy expensive Marc Jacobs bag that I have my eye on too. Okay, not the right tweet. So out of these 5 searches, you can see 3 of them are my target customers who would want the product, who want to use the product, who want to try the product because they have the eye bag problem. Again, if this is good, raise your hand. All right, say yes. If you feel that you can use this, say yes into the chat group. Now, I'm going to end off this internet marketing aspect with the Facebook, which most of you all have. And I want to just give you some tips on marketing on Facebook. Usually for Facebook, what catches people's attention are photographs and videos. So video first and foremost, followed by photographs, and then finally words, all right, captions and words itself. So what you want to do is post and share a video or photo in Facebook. But I want to highlight that when you do Facebook marketing, you are about branding yourself. Yesterday, I was talking to some stay-at-home moms, and I was telling them that you're not to put up the product, you're not to put up anything that you do on social media, you're not to put up the product or the brand of the company, because what people are going to do is they're just going to Google the brand of the company and they're never going to get back to you. I've had people, all right, business partners tell me that, because their customers had seen other people's branding and all that, but then they didn't follow up with them, but they follow up, and called them the other people itself. So what's going to happen is if you post up the brand of the company or the product, you're going to get people Googling and then just going to find their own way to purchase it and not come back to you instead. So what you want to do is brand yourself, brand your value, brand what you like, and create a following. And because you brand yourself, it is unique. Every one of us is unique. If you brand the company or the product, it is not unique. It becomes a commonplace. So let me give you an example, all right? So in this case, Lionel posted up, all right, a video, and he did not actually brand anything except, this particular video that says, tell me you're not thinking of somebody right now who could use this. So again, create curiosity and intrigue, and a video, as I mentioned. You look at this, 2,300 views, 12 likes, 0 comments. I think this is 6 comments and 18 shares. Look at that, it continued to grow. And then look, another video, but this one with an even worse eye bag. Apply a thin layer of the miracle lotion and watch the magic unfold as it dries. 9,700 views, 34 likes, 12 comments, 61 shares. Wow. In this video, I want to highlight 2 things. Number 1, what is the difference between a share and a tag? Now, when you share, you only share with the people who are in your database. So if you would like to get connected with somebody else's database, and maybe you have a friend who is in your database who is very influential, and you want to be able to tap into their network, what you do is do this thing called a tag instead of a share. So in this case, all right, Lionel was very smart because he knows Melody and Nicole are quite influential. So he actually tagged them rather than share with them. So I give you an example of, who does it very well is our general manager for Singapore, Geraldine Toh. She would tag me in certain photographs instead of sharing it within her own profile. So you tag me, and once she tags me, even though I did not post that picture or that video, everyone in my contact base gets to see that particular video or that picture. So they know what is happening in my life, even though I'm not updating my photographs or my status, because she constantly tags me, and because Winston constantly tags me, all the people in my database sees that. All right, so do take note of this difference with sharing and tagging, and learn to use it appropriately. You can also create Facebook pages, but again, this one is a little bit more, you need to be a bit more IT savvy. You got to practice. So Facebook allows you to create a page, and you need a profile picture, a little picture here, you need a name. Now, you're not going to get a name so nice as this until you have reached a certain number of likes. So you should, if you create a Facebook page, usually what happens is that you have numbers as the page name. Okay, let me go back to that. And also in Facebook, you can join different groups, relevant groups, all right? I apologize because I think my neighbor upstairs is doing some sort of renovation. So I hope that I can finish everything before the noise stops coming in like the last time. So you can join certain Facebook groups that are relevant. And then what you can do is you can start to connect with them. Now, don't start posting things. When you join any community, what you always want to do first and foremost is to observe, be an observer. See how they communicate with each other. What are they talking about? What are they interested in? And then start to add value first by, liking their shares, talking about, oh, I thank you, this person for sharing this. It's interesting. How about this? Have you all thought about this? And then start adding your own value as well. Now, you must understand that Facebook is a community. So when you join a community, nobody starts talking at the first, right? You start to build rapport first with everyone. Similarly, Facebook itself is that way. You got to create connections with people first. Posting time is important as well, all right? Because most people, when you post, and you post it in the middle of the day and people are working, all the feed is just going to be pushed up. So post between 7 to 9 a.m., which is a good time because people are on their way to work, they've just dropped their kids off. Post between 5 to 8 p.m. because that's the opposite. People on the way back, they're stuck, they're commuting home on public transport, or they've dropped their kids off, maybe they are just waiting for their kids to pick them up, pick the kids up, or they're having a meal. So that's a good time as well. And then after 10 p.m. when all the kids have gone to sleep and they are not talking to their spouses, but they're on Facebook instead, checking out status, that is a good time to post as well. I want to go into how to expand your global online business. There are two ways to build your business concurrently. So it depends on how fast you want to build this business. Yesterday, I met a mom. She said that, you know, I want to build this business fast. I want to start earning fast. I told her, I said, tell me how much you want to earn and how much can you commit, because you have kids. You know, if you are willing to commit the hours, then you would see, because it's a business, you would see the returns on it. So very simple. There are there's two ways to build this concurrently. One is through retail. Retail is you already now have a web store. You can start retailing the products. You can invite them for seminars, reverse aging seminar. Tonight is a good night because tonight in Singapore, we're actually having the mind training. You can invite them for that particular training, especially if they've been experiencing, you know, memory loss, or their problems with their, you know, staying alert throughout the day. Invite them for tonight's talk by our regional nutritionist, Tyson Ng. Or you can invite them for a stem cell facial where they get to try the products, the Luminous products by Dr. Nathan Newman, a Beverly Hills doctor. And you can actually post online product videos to them, and that could be found in your J-Cloud in your back office. And you can actually do the marketing online, which is what I showed you earlier on the social media platforms. Or you can do the marketing offline, where you communicate with them, you connect with them. And for the offline marketing training, I want to just tell you that on a Wednesday, tonight, we're actually doing the training on Zoom. So you can Zoom in tonight from 9 to 10. We'll be teaching you how to do the offline marketing part, where you connect with people and you can share with them on the seminar or the facial or the product videos. Another way to build is you can find web store partners. So this is where you start to expand. And most business owners, why they want to expand and create more outlets or franchises, because they know that their customer database increases, and also their profit will increase as well. So to expand your business, you can invite them for the e-commerce workshop that we hold at the office, or also you can invite them onto the Zoom e-commerce workshops as well. You can invite them for the Homepreneur workshop, which some of you attended yesterday, as well as I've one upcoming one on Tuesday next week at Carpage. If you want to have a Homepreneur Zoom, do let me know, all right? Because I do have a Homepreneur Zoom as well, where they can just watch the video from the comfort of their home. And then also invite them for power sharing. Yesterday night, we had a very powerful power sharing from 9 to 10, both in English and in Chinese, that was happening. And you can invite them to just listen in to how some of the people have benefited from using the products, and just share with them, you know, these are real life stories, and let them listen in from themselves, and they're interested to try the products, all right? Get them to come back to you and to start using the products, because you're helping them to get better health as well. You can also send them the online marketing videos, which can be found on your J-Cloud in your back office. Again, you can do the marketing online, which I mentioned earlier on, and you can do it offline, which today at 9 to 10, you can come online to actually be trained of how to connect with people, to invite them for all of these. Now, I want to show you what is in place to support you as you build your business from home. We have a product team consisting of our regional nutritionist, Tyson Ng, and he was a former professional member of the Heart to Heart Program Committee member, Heart and Stroke Foundation of British Columbia and Yukon in Canada, the British Dietetic Association from United Kingdom, the Hong Kong Dietitians Association from Hong Kong, the Hong Kong Practicing Dietitians Union, the team member for Hong Kong First Bone Marrow Transplant, and the team member for Hong Kong First Liver Transplant. And his salary is fully paid for. So he's here to support you fully. You can also arrange for one-to-one appointments with him if you have any questions concerning the products and the science behind the products and how to use the products. All right. And you can also go down for his talks that are being held in the local offices. We also have a product team, all right, that teaches on how to use the Luminous range, and you can attend the training for free. We also have a back office team that's supporting you. Earlier on, I showed you the help desk. But if you have a local office, you have the customer service support provided through phone and email. I show you how to get the various country contact numbers and emails, and also the online website support and training which we conduct in English and Mandarin in our local office. And also on our Zoom, if you need a back office training, we conduct it every Monday from 9 to 10. So you can actually watch it on Zoom from the comfort of your home. Again, this is fully paid for in terms of the salary and the support of the staff. There is also a new business training team to help you get into the success mindset, because most of us are employees and we have never started a business before. So the mindset is slightly different. The persistence, the perseverance that requires to be an entrepreneur is very different from being an employee, where you know exactly what is required of you. The major difference, I would say, being an entrepreneur is the unpredictability. You don't know what's going to happen, and nobody's going to tell you what you need to do. So this is where it's important to be among a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, that as you build together, the challenges that you meet, you can discuss and you can talk about and you can work through. So how to get started in your business, there's a guide through running the business. Meet like-minded e-commerce entrepreneurs. Tonight, this training is being held on our Zoom, and it's being held every single week. So you can attend weekly until it gets into your subconscious and you're familiar with it. So take a picture of this. This is the training schedule, a weekly Zoom meeting from 9 to 10 Singapore, Malaysia time. Do convert it into your own local time. And the calendar is updated here on the tinyurl.com/winteamwebinar. Take a picture of this. It's being held from Mondays to Fridays. Mondays, we talk about how to earn the income from our compensation plan training. Tuesdays, which was yesterday night, we have an English and Chinese power share, where we talk to people with their real stories of how they've benefited from the products. Now, it is a separate power share. So one Tuesday, you might go in for the English power share. The following Tuesday, you might go in for a Chinese power share and just listen in to all of them. You can ask questions as well. What product did they take? How long did they take it for? What was the problem that they were having? Now, we don't claim to have that the products heal people, but this is their own personal story and how they've benefited from the use of the products itself. Wednesday night, which is tonight, we have new business training where we talk about the mindset of the business, and we also talk about the support that is in place, and we talk about how you can do offline marketing as well. Thursday night, we have the business presentation in English and Chinese being presented. So if you have business partners that want to know more about the business and want to have an online business and work from home, or you have retirees, or you have business partners overseas, you can invite them for the business presentation. And then Friday, we actually have the back office training, which I did earlier part of this morning. So if you've forgotten and you want a refresher, you can Zoom in this Friday night. Now for the Zoom IDs, it is constantly being updated into the chats. So do ask the stay-at-home mom who invited you to put yourself into that chat where we update every day what are the IDs so that you can Zoom in, similar to what you have today. Now here's how to make money on your website. I'm just going to summarize. Make 20 to 45% on all retail sales. Make a one-time 25 to 250 when a customer buys a bulk purchase of products. They like the products, they want to start the business, you want to start using the products, you can make between $25 to $250. And then all of the products and all in the web stores have points attached to it, similar like when you go to NTUC, you have link points, or you have credit cards and you always have points. All right, you can convert that points to cash. And similar, we have a business that also turns the points into cash. So it comes from retail sales, wholesale sales, monthly repeat sales, and one-time purchase sales. And about 900 points converts to $35 US. And as you expand your business, you have more web stores under, that you build up, that expands. What happens is that you can make 5 to 30% whenever each of your web store partner changes points for money. And then the fifth way is, once you've created an enough volume, a substantial volume, every quarter, you will share in 3% of the global sales pie, not just within your web stores, but the web stores of the whole company itself. I give you an example. In June 2015, 2 years ago, just within that month, the global e-commerce sales was US 120 million for 1 month. And it's expected to continue to rise, because you can see we still continue to revolutionize, to think of new products that are new in the industry, new in the market. Another thing that we have is trips. So I've been able to go for Alaska trip, fully paid, Dubai trip, and then last year I went for the Mediterranean cruise. this year I'm going for the Prague and Budapest trip. So I want to end off with a quote by Nick Vujicic, and he says this, and I truly believe that if he can do it, and he was born without arms and without legs, and just he calls it chicken feet. All right, he says this. I mean, he now has 2 kids. One who is a baby, I think a toddler, and his wife is expecting his second child. And he's got passive income coming in from the royalties of his books, and he continues to travel the world, motivating people. And he says, if I fail, I try again and again and again. If you fail, are you going to try again? So the question is, when you hit a hurdle, when you hit a barrier, are you going to give up? Are you going to, walk with us through this 1 year of mom internship program, and until you find success running an online business? It's not going to be easy, I'm telling you, but if you follow what we're going to be teaching you, because we have walked that journey, a lot of the moms have walked this journey already. We've hit the same challenges that you're going to be facing. And if you listen to us, you handhold us, hold our hands to walk through this 1 year, all right, you're going to be able to find success for your family as well. The human spirit can handle much worse than we realize. It matters how you're going to finish. Are you going to finish strong? So this morning I end here, all right, and get back to the mom who invited you